Special event alert.
I stopped off to vote on my way in the ship, which is excuse number one every 4 years for being late for Changeover, your weekly space news and variety show. I'm your host, Marty Smith, and I'm joined by Eric Perrott.
Yay, my retirement plan's in the history. You know it, babe.
And our man in the closet is back, Jake Wall.
It's good to be back, guys. Good to see you.
We're here to bring you the latest headlines and updates pertinent to all Guardians and to the other lower branches as well. So take your seats, get informed, and have a laugh as we present Late for Changeover.
You got nothing on Joe Rogan, baby.
I know. I want to get a sign behind at least.
Yeah.
Those fucking signs are expensive as shit. I was like, damn it. Well, maybe I can make one.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I like this. It's good.
I haven't. My other pictures are over on the other side of the room, but my stepdaughter's kind of moved into my basement for temporary, right? So I had to move back over to my original position, but no, I was watching Rogan, especially all the interviews he's had lately, and I'm like, God, that neon sign he's got behind him. That's fucking cool. Choice, man.
I watched her like all of them. I even watched the one on Shay Shay.
Yeah,
I watched hers.
Yeah.
I was doing my research. I'm like,
yeah,
right. Well, we shall see. We are doing this Monday night where we usually record Tuesday night. I'll still put it out on Wednesday because I don't want to compete with all the election coverage. So when we still don't have a winner on Wednesday, come and watch Late for Changeover.
Yeah,
It'll entertain you until they decide. I was trying to remember, how long did it go with Bush and Gore? Remember that? Didn't it seem like it went for like a month?
It
went
like it was
a long time.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I wonder how long it actually was.
I don't know. If we had any kind of research staff that could look that up for us.
It seems like a lot of work.
Research staff is my effing dog running around. So we either get Armageddon tomorrow or we get no answer.
Yeah.
National Election Month. They might as well. They've got a month for everything, man. Might as well make it National Election Month. Whatever happened to that movement where they were trying to get Election Day as a national day off? Remember they were talking about doing that? I was like, that'd be great.
They should.
They're just like, we have no energy for that.
Yeah.
Seems
Give it another day.
We got to send more shit to Ukraine. That's what we got to do.
Dude, how's the new hip? You got a new ball and socket? You're bionic and shit?
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting better. It still hurts at night. But the weirdest thing is it's still numb in parts, my thigh, and it's almost 2 weeks. And it's gradually coming back. But I had no adductor. So if you lay on your back and your knee's 90 and it goes out, I couldn't pull it back. And so I would go, and it would just like snap out. And I was like, that hurts. But I would have to take my hand and push it back up. So that's coming back slowly. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Not a lot of pain though, huh? Not a lot of pain?
Not there. But I think, now that I know this makes no logical sense. I know this makes no logical sense. Yes. But I think I gained some height from it. And the only reason I say that is because hold on. Now hear me out. There's a logical thing. Because I was almost bone on bone, right? So what they do, they put like a sleeve in there. They saw off the end of your femur. They put that thing down in there, and then they shove it up in there. So all of a sudden I got more space. Now, the reason I know that is because my prosthetic didn't change.
Yeah, is your prosthetic now like this?
Yeah, I'm stepping in a hole. I'm like, holy shit, it's too short. So I had to
get your prosthetic extended.
I had to get spacers and put it in there to raise it up. And I'm like, I think I gained a half an inch at least.
Look at you.
And I'm like, whoa.
You're gonna have to get those shoes that have bigger heels now.
Don't let it go to your head.
Little block job.
Clomp around.
Marty's all over here playing.
I know. I might be able to look you
Godzilla
guys.
pushing villagers away. Get away from me.
I might be able to
shorty.
get out of here. Short stuff. I might be able to look you guys right in the chin here pretty soon.
I'll destroy you.
I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to the news, right? No significant space news to report this week.
Woo!
The one they had there, like, hey, the Dragon crew moved their spaceship to another docking port, so those resupply guys could come up. And I was like, that's all you got?
That's
Is
it.
the threat of the ISS still? Oh my God, it's gonna blow!
Yeah, they've no updates on it. It's still losing 3 pounds of air a day or whatever it is. You should, Jake, go watch that article.
Okay,
we did 50 errors on the ISS that are causing it to lose air because all these parts are past their prime.
They're all nervous it's gonna frickin' blow up and shit.
Anyway,
well, we already reported that Elon has the bid for pushing it back in.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember? So it's already
he's already
ready.
got that.
It's already on the chopping block.
But they think that it's so degraded, it may not be able to do that now.
Oof.
Because there's so many.
He
there's
pushes
so many
down
bad
and just goes.
it bends.
Yeah. Like a piñata in space.
I think it's my theory last week was it's Butch and Sonny. They're bad luck. They're just
They're Boeing employees, man.
That
Boeing.
extra weight is really dragging that place down.
Boeing employees.
That crazy frizzy hair is driving them nuts.
Yep.
Last
Velcro's
week,
wearing out left and right.
last week we did a mishap story, right? These guys, bomb loaders, were on the carts. I can't remember the name of the cart, but did you ever use those carts? Yeah, jammers.
Jammers.
Yeah.
And I guess they have two different types. One that has the pedals 18 inches apart, and one that has the pedals right next to it. So I saved this picture from last week, right? So the guy got in. Now he was qualified on it, but he hadn't driven one in months, like the NCO. Yeah. So he drove it, jammed it in reverse, was trying to stop. It ran into an F-15, knocked him off the cart.
Yeah.
And then the jammer kept going and ran into the F-16, sparked a fire, $30 million of damage.
Oops.
And so part of the report was they were showing these two different jammers, that one on the left with the pedals far apart, and then the one on the right, which he was used to, but he was driving the one on the left.
Yeah, he forgot that he didn't have the brake over here. There's a whole different foot, right?
Yeah,
You're one-footing it, or
2 feet.
Some drivers will do the 2 feet over here, but then you have the 2 feet over here.
Well, it sounds like to me like he was trying to jam on the brake that was way over there to the left of him, and he couldn't stop it. So I thought I wish you were on for that story because I knew you were going to give us some perspective.
Dude, those things are super heavy because you think about it, they have to have the counterweight to hold a 500-pound, 1,000-pound bomb.
Yeah, sure.
Right, that's the smaller one, but so they're heavy, and so once they get momentum, they're moving. And you're driving backwards, which is common.
Hey, on that first
is it
image,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
What's that cone-looking shape between the gas and the brake? That thing in the middle there, the cone.
It's a part of the drive shaft or
just
something.
Part of the
looks like just something they covered up, I guess. Yeah.
Because the seat is behind that, right? It's back.
Yeah, that gray thing right there is the actual seat.
Okay.
So that's a good point.
You're in there between the gas tank and the engine on both of them.
With a munition on the back.
Yeah. I mean, look at that one side where you can see where you get onto the thing.
Yeah.
That's the gas tank you're sitting right next to.
Oh, man.
And then
well, hell, he's lucky that didn't blow up when he hit the plane.
Well, right.
Holy cow.
He hit the F-15 and knocked him forward and off of it. And then that thing just kept going and then careened into an F-16. Yeah. So I was like, holy shit, dude.
I can understand how it'd be easy to get bucked off one of those. I mean, you're not.
Yeah, what there's no safety.
That's it.
There's no
No,
cage.
it's not.
There's
And your momentum is pushing you forward, right? Because you're going backwards.
Oh yeah, right.
So you would, if anything, you'd go over the steering wheel.
Yeah, which isn't. It's not like there's a big dashboard there.
No,
to keep you in.
Yeah.
So surprised it doesn't happen more. To be honest with you, now that you're talking about it.
Now that you look at it, not the safest particular piece of equipment.
I wonder if the one man, because he was the one man is the boss, and that's who the 3-man normally drives this. So the 3-man will be the loader, like doing the fuses.
I got you. Yeah,
picking up the position on crew, right? You're picking up the bombs. You're doing that. The 2-man's looking at the airplane, making sure everything's loaded. So the 1-man never drives this normally.
But like they
obviously
said, he was certified on it, but he hadn't driven one in months. Yeah. So I bet he was out there and he's like, I haven't done this in a while. Let me drive. Let me drive. And they're like,
or he was like, I got to run back and use the restroom. And I don't want to actually run. Let me borrow the jammer quick.
Oh, that couldn't happen out there, could it?
Oh, fuck yeah, that would.
Instead of loading up, he's dropping a load.
Yeah, or he forgot something, like you forget something back in the office, in the shop, and you don't want to run back there. Like,
right. Do those things drive like on a forklift, just the real tight turning radius? And
they're tight,
a little bit, and you're just like,
and the back wheels are the only ones that are turning. Not the front wheels. The front wheels don't turn.
Yeah.
Like steer. The back wheels steer.
That's almost like a golf cart, a push golf cart.
Yeah, only if you're steering from the rear wheels.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, anyway, I thought that'd bring back some memories for you, Jake.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's fun.
Also to top off that mishap, they were like, yeah, that happened. Okay, maybe that could be forgivable, but the hydraulic fluid was the blackest we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which it jammed, the hydraulic was so bad it jammed the throttle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so it wouldn't let up, so that's why it kept going. So
preventive maintenance is
but that's the thing. Age that's a whole career field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That we literally drop those off every couple of months.
Right.
And get them.
And that's what they do. That's their PMCS or maintenance checks. Yeah, that's all they do. All right.
Wow.
Okay, no space news. Thanks for filling us in on that, Jake. So let's go to our old favorite. All right.
I like old favorites.
The VA. and actually this time, there's good news for the VA. Legit good news. I'm not tricking you for good news. This is actually legit. But
good news. We only lost 1.8 billion. That's it.
But the way they got there is just through sheer incompetence. So this is essentially them falling down the stairs and going, hey, look at that. We looked okay. I hate when I do this. Sorry about that. All right. So from stripes.com, the VA, we did this story a couple months ago. Yeah. The VA's projected $15 billion budget shortfall doesn't exist, and the agency actually has a $5 billion surplus.
They found it in a drawer in the guy's office down the hallway.
Remember we did that story? Like if Congress doesn't give us any money, there's 7 million vets who's not going to get paid, right?
Yeah.
So they actually did cut a check, and you'll see that in a second. $15 billion shortfall that the VA disclosed to lawmakers in an urgent request for emergency funding to cover veterans benefits and close a projected budget gap does not exist. VA leaders told Congress in September that they needed $3 billion immediately to close the budget gap, or veterans would lose their benefits. Instead, the VA has a surplus of $5.1 billion from fiscal 2024, according to Representative Mike Bost, Republican from Illinois, and Representative John Carter, Republican from Texas. The VA also no longer projects a $12 billion shortfall for fiscal 2025. Higher costs for an increase in healthcare enrollments, payroll, and equipment purchases all fell within original budget estimates. So, yeah, sorry.
See what happened? The government said, you better find some money or someone's going to be fired. And all of a sudden.
And they found the money. And then they're like, oh, we actually did have the money. Sorry about that. So
it's $3 billion they wanted to lose.
These two representatives,
insane,
Bost and Carter, they wrote a sharply worded letter to the VA Secretary Dennis McDonough saying, quote, no benefit shortfall ever existed, and much of the information your leadership team has provided about a purported healthcare shortfall is erroneous.
Oof.
They also accused VA leaders of, quote, an utter inability to forecast and determine costs accurately.
Yeah.
Close quote. Yeah. So
someone needs to be fired.
So there's no shortfall.
Exactly. There should be no tersely worded email. Yeah, there should be nothing.
No.
Whoever it is in charge of the VA, the top one is fired.
Should be. But nobody ever gets fired. Nobody ever gets fired. Right.
That's what's killing me. Like
someone other than the
they're incompetent.
And in fact, no apologies, no regrets, just kind of one big shoulder shrug from the VA, and I'm like, sorry about that. We'll do better next time. But here's the icing on the cake. Right,
what are you gonna do?
Here's the icing on the cake. The VA cautioned lawmakers that VA spending in 2025 could still exceed original estimates.
Oh my God.
The agency stated it expects to hire 5,000 additional staff and is projecting a funding anomaly by the end of the calendar year. So they're already setting the stage for next September.
Is that an actual joke? Like,
no,
we're projecting
they wrote it. Anomaly? They said it. They're like, we made a mistake this year, but next year we're probably going to be short. So
okay, right there, that first one guy gets fired, and then they get full audited. That's it by an outside agency.
Every month.
Yes, it's quarterly audits at least.
Yeah,
clearly you have no fucking clue what you're doing.
Crazy. It's crazy, and the slap of the hand stuff. I don't know. That's got to go, right? Yeah. I mean. I don't know. Maybe a change of administration is what we need.
How much money are we paying? How much money is the government paying that guy annually?
Right. Yeah.
Too much.
Or are they? Didn't we have a story earlier where these guys were writing themselves bonuses and they're like, "Oh,
well, yeah,
shit, we can't do that." Sorry about that. Yeah, yep. We'll stop. We'll stop doing that. So good news. Nobody was shorted, but bad news. These knuckleheads fell down the stairs and landed on their feet. They're like, oh,
well, no, at least it was
no
not
sense of alarm
at the expense of veterans, man.
Yeah, nobody suffered.
Yeah,
until 2025. I would just say, hey, that $3 billion we got you, just put it in the fund. Don't touch it until September when you come walking back in here because you guys don't use QuickBooks.
Be like, you want me to hold on to this for you? Because I know you're going to need it.
I know you're not gonna, it's the kid that comes back and he's like, no, I got it, Dad. It's like, well, why not just hold on?
Do you? You're still back here. Do you get it?
You are in my office, for Christ's sakes. Wow.
All right, so good on the VA on this one. Bad on the VA on this one. This one is going to piss you off, all right? So this is from Task and Purpose, all right? A VA employee's accidental
Marty, you
voicemail.
Still have the jammer up?
Why? Do you see it?
Yeah.
Can you still see it?
Yep.
You can still see it?
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is that you? You still show it up?
I see it up. Eric doesn't see it? All right.
No, I don't have it up.
There you go.
Can you see? What can you see now? Just the jammer?
Yep, that's all I see. That's okay. It's just mine.
Oh, well, hold on. Let's see.
No, don't worry about it. We're good.
Can you see me changing anything?
Nice.
No.
Well, take a second and refresh it or something. Because there we go. Maybe that'll work. You just dropped off.
Bloop. Goodbye, Jake.
So there he is. Okay, now what do you see?
There you go.
You cleared?
Yeah.
All right. So this story is from Task and Purpose. A VA employee's accidental voicemail to a veteran prompts investigation. All right. The Department of Veterans Affairs is apologizing to a veteran who received a voicemail from a facility in El Paso, Texas, in which VA employees can be heard speculating that the veteran was seeking to retain his 100% disability rate when one of them says, it's all about the money. All right. So the VA deeply apologizes to this veteran, and we are reaching out to him immediately, VA Press Secretary Terrence Hayes said. The lack of care and compassion demonstrated by these employees is unacceptable, and we are urgently investigating this incident and will take swift and appropriate action. Veterans deserve respect and the very best care our nation has to offer, and we at VA will never accept anything less from our employees, as long as they know about it.
You know who's definitely getting 100 right now, right?
That guy.
That guy's be like
105.
Hey, listen to this.
And
Let's fix that number.
What's there to investigate? You listen to the recording, you hear the guy, and you go,
right,
you're done.
Right. Well, I guess they were leaving a call, and you'll hear it. They were leaving him a message, and then they thought they hung up the phone, but it wasn't hung up. And this guy recorded it all. So here we go.
Yikes.
Maybe this guy was a scammer.
Hi, this message is for Mr.
Oh, it's definitely the VA.
Yeah.
Calling you from the VA.
Definitely the VA.
Try to call you back later, sir. Thank you. The other day, he was very pleasant, actually.
So, but do you want him to come in for pulmonary? He kind of has to, right?
It's because I don't know why he. Let's go. What is his last four?
Okay, redacted.
Let me go and see what is his diagnosis. He doesn't. I promise.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I know this.
And you can make a percentage.
Yeah.
Probably trying to keep it or just.
46. You know, there's so much stuff going on in the VA that he thinks he's going to lose his disability. He doesn't make appointments and be seen. And then again, he probably wants travel pay too, and you know.
Oh yeah, I've heard people get mad about that.
Yes.
The travel pay was incorrect. He said that. I'm like,
Yes.
we had nothing to do with that. Come down.
Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course.
So
Fired. Oh my God.
So the
Come
guy's
on.
already 100%, but he's hearing a lot of stuff in the government saying he's afraid he's going to lose his benefits.
Maybe.
Like, yeah, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, fuckers, man. It's like they should take all the VA employees and like put them through basic or something like that before they actually got to work there. You know,
you sons of bitches, I swear.
but at the same time, when I was
the guy
trying to
could
get
have been a full scammer. You never know.
there are those out there.
Are those
right?
out
trying
there?
to get
I
5%
gotta
more
admit it.
percent, 10 more percent.
Yep.
You know, I got told like earlier this year from a guy, and he's like, "Hey, I got my 10% for my hearing loss," and I was like, "Oh, okay, good, man. Is it bothering you?" He's like, "No, but they think it's bothering me." I was like, "Come on, dude."
See,
So I know there's
if
guys
you got
like that
10% for hearing loss, okay,
right?
but then you're like, is it bad or is it anything? You're like, nah, fuck, no, it's not.
Oh, it's the
That's a
you're
dick
not
move.
one, Eric. But I know two who are CPAP and they're getting the disability for it that admit I don't use it. It's in my corner. I don't use it.
Oh,
but they
that's
get the percentage for it.
Benefit for it.
So there is that. But
Yeah.
to fight the VA employees too, that's I know most of them are good, and I know most of them hate working for the VA because they're so limited. I know that because they get frustrated. But then you get also people like this,
Like that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not an insurance agency. Stop trying to be
nobody
one,
cares.
Yeah.
Give it out. Too bad that you actually
know?
have vets who do that. I mean, you're
True.
actually taking away
true.
money from guys who,
I agree.
don't have an M or have dramatic brain injury or whatever.
Right.
Man.
But clearly, you're not taking any of that money away
From the employee.
Well,
No.
no, from
VA employee.
neither from the agency. The VA doesn't know
No,
what the
it's
fuck
right.
they're doing with the money.
That's
So
right.
you're not
Yeah,
taking
that's
any
right.
money from anyone.
Well, if you
Right.
look at it like that, you're right. No
And
doubt
then
about it.
if they freaking need more money, all they have to do is go and ask.
Yeah,
They're
and they
like,
Shrug
got
their shoulders.
billions right
See?
there. Yeah,
We mismanaged this first bunch.
Right.
Ah, freaking crazy, man.
But
I'm telling you.
that's the thing though. Instead of going after the other losses of money, they would target the individuals first. Instead of going after,
right.
okay, I got like a tumor thing cut out of my arm.
Yeah.
And the doctor at the VA goes, so do you want these tools? Like, the metal forceps or whatever they were. And I'm like, what? No.
Why would I want those?
He goes, oh, we don't have the ability to sanitize them, so we have to throw them away right now.
Oh, man.
Ah,
That right there is, they wouldn't go after that.
what a
When
No.
every fucking vet clinic has the
Right.
ability to sanitize shit.
yeah.
Run it. Boil some water. There you go.
Dude,
I went in for they thought it was precancerous stuff. It turned
Yeah.
out not to be precancerous, so they gave me the light box therapy. So I was driving in for like 2 minutes, as alpha rays or something like that, and I cleared it up, and I was like, that's pretty good.
nice.
And they're like, do you want one at home? And I was like, I don't know. You can do that? And they're like,
Do
yeah,
I?
we can order one for you. I was like, can I try it? And if I don't like it, I can bring it back. And they're like, no, we have no ability to take it back. So if you want it, we just order it for you. And if you don't
It's
use it, then you
$1,000
can just,
freaking dollars.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they're like, why can't you take it back? And they're like, it's just their rules. We can't, just like the sterilized thing. So
Yep.
much fraud, waste, and abuse. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
So,
But
well,
they won't go after that. They'll go after the individuals and make it harder
they'll
to
hammer
get
the
your
guy with the
10%.
pulmonary condition. They're like, oh, you're just trying to get more money. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'll take the forceps. Maybe that'll help. I
Yeah.
don't know. Shit.
Exactly.
Fucking hey, man. Speaking of fraud, waste, and abuse, I ran across this story from Reuters. So Boeing, our friends over at Boeing, overcharged the Air Force $150,000 for soap dispenser.
Come on. This goes back to like when you're buying toilet bowl seats for 100 grand.
That's the joke, right? That's the
That's
running
the-
joke.
yeah.
And they're like, nah, they even use that in Independence Day. He said,
Come
that.
on.
But this is real.
Unbelievable.
Boeing overcharged the U.S. Air Force for spare parts for C-17 transport planes, including marking up the price on soap dispensers by 7,943%, according to a report by a Pentagon watchdog.
Come on.
The Department of Defense Office of the Inspector General said on Tuesday the Air Force overpaid nearly $1 million for a dozen spare parts, including about $150,000 for an undisclosed number of lavatory soap dispensers from the plane maker and defense contractor. The Air Force needs to establish and implement more effective internal controls to help prevent overpaying for spare parts for the remainder of this contract, which continues through 2031, said IG Robert Storch. Isn't that what they teach you when you go into procurement? All the controls, the contract types. And here they're like,
with his eyes closed. Yeah, that number looks great.
It's crazy. I mean, this is so basic.
Oh.
And this is the IG. The IG used to make heads roll. I guess they don't make heads roll anymore. Maybe they're just like, oh, IG's coming. Maybe we only have like 30 violations this year.
But nobody's getting fired.
But no one's getting fired. Going to have a hell of a Christmas party. Significant overpayments for spare parts may reduce the number of spare parts that Boeing can purchase on the contract, potentially reducing C-17 readiness worldwide. Boeing said Tuesday it was reviewing the report, adding that it appears to be based on an inapt comparison of the prices paid for parts that meet military specs and designs versus basic commercial items that would not be qualified or approved. So they're already dithering, right?
So that's a military grade soap dispenser.
It's a military grade soap dispenser. And it's like,
Okay.
come on, are you serious? Boeing said it plans to provide a detailed written response to the report in the coming days and said the spare parts were substantially modified to meet military specifications. $150,000 modified. The Inspector General also noted it could not determine if the Air Force paid a fair price on $22 million worth of spare parts because the service did not keep a database of historical prices, obtain supplier quotes, or identify commercially similar parts. Sounds like the same guys doing this worked on the inventory over Ukraine. Can you guys still hear me? Or are you just in shock?
No, I'm struggling. You're breaking up really bad. And Jake and
Oh,
I were
really?
talking in the chat for some reason. It was clear for him. But
God damn it. I think it's my wonderful Xfinity fucking service here, so I'm going to have to change it.
It's in and out real bad. Jake, are you still hearing him clear?
Now I can't hear Jake. What the fuck is going on tonight?
I show you licking chicken.
Oh, that's a
Liam
good
Charlie.
that's a good old one. So, let's see. Well, network problems. Okay, well that one didn't have that's Boeing.
No, that Boeing shit is ridiculous though. And we used to joke about the toilet seats because that was where they would hide the black ops money. You know, kind of thing. They would just skim off the top and do the black ops money.
Yeah.
But now it's the corporations that are skimming the whole time.
I wonder if it's like House of Cards stuff, and it's like we can't pay you directly, but I can pay you, $800 for that soap dispenser.
I think, do we default to malicious or do we default to incompetence?
It's got to be malicious at this point, right? Stupid or incompetent? Yeah. I mean.
What if somebody just did this shit wrong? They thought it was okay. And back in the day, somebody did it that way and they're just copy and pasting from then on.
Every month, we're getting like an IG report or something or a whistleblower that comes out.
Yeah.
But what's always in the headline is some commander got relieved. Some Navy boat captain got relieved. We never hear anybody, department head at the VA got fired. Everybody oh shit, let me read about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, can you hear us now?
But they might be.
Yeah.
But maybe they do it or maybe they just, it's got to be malicious. It's not incompetence. I think it's got.
I was saying, Eric, do you think it's just pure incompetence or do you think it's malicious? Like every time?
Man, because it feels malicious.
I agree.
Yeah.
It feels malicious.
Yeah. If you had like 18, 19-year-olds doing this, okay, incompetence, right? I get it.
Yeah, but to what end? Are they like, is somebody at the corporate end going, hey, pad our scores this time?
Is there
some way we could do this?
But these are probably GS-12s, GS-14s doing this contracting stuff.
But the thing is, like, what if you're over? You should have been over budget.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Like at the end. So I'm doing this contract. I handed in all our profits into Lockheed Martin accounting or Boeing accounting.
Yeah.
And Boeing accounting goes, why are we up $140,000?
Sure.
And they're like, don't worry about that. That just goes to overhead.
Well, we all know it's happened before. We know contractors that have screwed the numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A number of times. Yeah. So for Boeing to do something like this, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, they said Air Force overpaid nearly $1 million for a dozen spare parts. $1 million. That's nothing to sneeze at, right?
How
the Air Force contractor?
Payola contract, right?
Yeah, but how big is that contract? Is it?
It's got to be billion for the C-17. It's got to be huge, right?
So to lose $1 million in there,
that's easy to hide. Soap dispensers.
Yeah, but on the Air Force side,
underneath,
they have so many contracts that they probably assign one person to
you're right. Yeah, contracting office probably has 20.
And lose track of the numbers, but still, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
that should be so eye-popping to anybody who just reviews a car.
It was enough to write a story about it in
it's
national
good.
publication here. But
Yeah,
what will come of it? I don't know. Probably nothing.
for sure.
All right. Now, this story is very short, but I'm curious about which side you come down on it. Okay. So this is from military.com. The CENTCOM commander allegedly shoved an airman on a military flight. All right. The Army is investigating allegations that the head of U.S. Central Command shoved an airman while on a military flight headed to Israel. The alleged incident, first reported by military.com on last Thursday, indicates that Army General Michael Eric Kurilla, CENTCOM commander, shoved an airman during a C-17 Globemaster III flight. The alleged physical altercation occurred after Kurilla had a heated argument with the flight crew over problems assessing communications.
Oh.
Right? Do you want to see General Kurilla?
Show me a picture.
Gorilla.
The gorilla. So, CENTCOM commander, okay? The general got frustrated with communication problems and left his seat to address the problems. After an airman asked Kurilla to sit down and buckle up for safety reasons, the general allegedly pushed the airman aside and lashed out in front of multiple witnesses. When reached for comment Friday, a CENTCOM spokesperson told Military Times that they were not aware of the investigation nor the incident. So I'm curious where you come down on this. Now,
I'm thinking
go ahead. Jim.
I think the general should stop being a dick and the airman should stop being a pussy and they should move on.
Okay.
Done.
I'll buy that.
It's over.
I'll buy that. My suspicion is some airman or whatever, and this goes along with security force friend right there. We're like, I'm going to tell this. If this general gets up, I'm fucking telling him to sit the fuck
flight
down.
crew. Yeah.
Right? Me,
He's
E4,
Army. What are they going to do?
E5. I'm going to tell him to sit the fuck down. Right? We're in charge of this aircraft. And he probably did that. He's like, get out of my way.
Now, let me ask you this. Did it say if the aircraft was moving? Was it?
No, they're moving.
It didn't, but I would assume it was because it said the airman told him to sit down and buckle up for safety reasons. So I'm assuming they're cruising, maybe.
So I'm going to take a stance that airplane is now the flight crew's. It belongs to the flight crew. Just like a flight attendant telling you to sit the hell down on a civilian charter.
I knew
that
he
says,
would go that way.
I have to. Just
knew
because you're a general doesn't give you the fucking position to stand up and be a dickhead to an airman who's trying to do a job. Oh, by the way, it's your safety. You're supposed to be sitting the fuck down.
Maybe it's safety if you got turbulence or something like that. But
if they took off and they're moving and there's that whole time where on a commercial flight they won't let you stand up, but you know damn well it's fine to stand up.
Oh yeah.
If it's that time,
he can
that airman deserve to get pushed.
Right.
You're getting a pushing.
Yeah, that's
right.
I wish we had more to the circumstances.
I know. I wish we did too.
Because I'm all for physical violence if it's required.
Well, sure, right. And I, it's like if you pull over a 4-star, you're in charge of that pullover, no matter what.
Yeah, it's my traffic stop.
I get that. But on a flight, those crew chiefs jack around on those fucking flights all the time. Anyway, you telling me they're safety first every time they fly?
No,
they're trained professionals, Marty.
But if I can pull a little bigger dick than the 4-star and tell that story afterwards,
yeah,
sounds like.
And then of course the airman goes, "He shoved me." This guy's got his fucking Ranger tab on.
I know.
And the airman's like, "He shoved me." Shut the fuck up. We're not getting shot at. I can't talk to people.
The guy probably caved his chest in around his hand. He's like, oh.
Now, I will tell you, for me, this goes back to when not you two, but me, when they could still put their hands on you. Yeah. And it was just, hey, you're a dumbass. Get out of my way.
Right.
I'm all for that if that was the case.
Yeah, I wish we knew more
but
too. But it's more fun to speculate and make our own story up. So,
but look at this general. He's got multiple Purple Hearts. He's
a
got a
CIB.
Ranger tab.
He's got a combat infantry badge.
CIB,
Yeah.
This is not a guy that's intimidated by freaking turbulence.
No.
Or he's like, I need to talk to people now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And who knows? Maybe that crewman had like a full beard going and a ponytail and all this other shit. Sir, you need to sit down for safety. And he's like, what?
Well, you know what's going to happen, though, in today's military? He's going to get disciplined. I guarantee it.
It's going to be like the Patton slapping incident.
I guarantee it.
I hope he does. You've already wasted enough of his time. Move on.
Right. He's a four-star CENTCOM commander. He's not Colonel Nathan R. Jessup that you're trying to bring down for a code red.
He's going to lose his position as CENTCOM commander, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
Probably. It could be. That'd be a disappointment. So.
I bet. It would, but I bet.
Anyway.
You can't handle the truth.
Or maybe he's totally always a dick to aircrew, and aircrew finally got tired of it.
That's probably pretty likely too. That's probably pretty.
You
likely
never know.
Too.
Like this whole thing, I love the speculation involved.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Like here comes a gorilla again. If this guy pushes me again this time, I'm crying.
Every time
I'm crying.
he's pushing me.
He pushes me every flight.
Every time.
Stand up for yourself.
We need to follow up with this.
Sore my arm was. He pushed me.
I want to hear what happens to him.
Bad week for Air Force Academy.
Oh my goodness,
bad
terrible
week for Air Force Academy. Right. First, they come up last week. They had the 8 men's soccer players that got they're being suspended for some kind of misconduct.
Oh, I missed that.
Then Air Force goes and gets smashed by Army in the Air Force Army game.
Yeah,
what was it, 20-3? But that score was not even close. They were just killing them.
Yeah.
Now the Air Force Academy was also subject to an Army prank that I didn't even know about.
Got you so good.
So the Air Force Academy gets pranked by West Point.
Boink.
And you know, our Army, most of the pranks are between Army and Navy, right? But Air Force gets caught up into, like you said, I can't remember how many years ago that they took the Falcon. I didn't know they killed it. I thought they hurt it. I didn't know they killed it.
It died.
The
result was died. Yeah.
Now that one's pretty screwed up. I mean, because Navy and Army, Navy's got the goat, and Army's got, I don't know what
they should have a mule.
Yeah, I guess.
Mules.
But
they've taken mules before.
So they've done why this is, right?
Why?
Tell me.
Because the Army can't have anything delicate, so they have to have the most robust of the animals possible.
Yeah.
They're like,
that's true.
It's a stubborn, hard to kill animal.
Come steal our mule. We dare you.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get rid of it, and we can't get rid of it.
I can see that too.
Other than the Texas Longhorns, they've got one of the most durable animals.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly.
All right. So West Point pulled off a magnificent joke for all of Colorado Springs to see. A prank for the ages that knocks not only the Air Force Academy and its struggling football squad, but the entire Air Force as a whole.
Whoa.
So the upper bleachers of Falcon Stadium, and those in Colorado know, you can drive down I-25 and you can see Falcon Stadium up on the hill that says Air Force when it's empty. But this week, Army or its fans, no one really knows for sure, found its way into the empty arena and painted it to read,
that's awesome,
Chair Force.
Chair Force.
So there's a picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look to the left, they added the C and the H. Oh, man. And you could see that from I-25.
That was incredibly ballsy. What do you think?
You know,
that's so
Air
good.
Force people, I'm like, that's really good. That
really is so good.
I don't even know what they did that with. You know, I don't even know what those letters are.
Oh, man.
Just cardboard
or
what?
white
Maybe
paint.
white paint. Maybe they painted the seats. But yeah, bad week for Air Force. Boy.
Man, that's hilarious, though.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And I tip of the cap to West Point. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. With the election coming up tomorrow, Now we'll air this on Wednesday. Like I said,
yes.
I thought we'd do a little presidential quiz. Now we're not going to keep score because I couldn't come up with enough of that. So I just see what you guess. Now this quiz is going to be presidents and military. All right. So it's all about presidents and the military. Okay.
I'm all over this.
All right. First question. Out of the 46 different men who have been president, how many of them have served in the U.S. military? What do you think?
So you got Washington,
Oh,
Jackson,
18.
Eisenhower.
Jake says 18.
I'm going to say 7.
Oh, wait. No, there's probably more because the early guys were all military.
That's right.
Not all of them.
26.
26, Jake says.
I'm going to say 7. I don't think it was that
7?
many.
Oh,
7.
It's way more.
Oh,
I think
we
I'm
should have been
low
keeping
even.
score. It is 31.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good guess, man.
So these are the presidents who have not had military service.
Oh.
So John Adams,
It's
John
easier
Quincy
to
Adams.
choose the wow.
Yeah, there was only 15 who have not had who
Wow,
did not
I was way
serve in the
off.
military. John Adams, John Quincy Adams, Van Buren, Grover Cleveland. He was twice. Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Clinton, Obama, Trump, and Biden.
And make sure Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah, Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, not Teddy. Yeah, no, Teddy was Rough Rider.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
the early ones, man. Wow.
I know.
Okay.
I'm surprised about the two Adamses. Actually.
There was a couple of them that were assassinated too. Not that that has anything to do with their military service. I was trying to think about which ones were assassinated.
Of
Garfield,
those 31
Reagan.
who served, how
Shot at
many
least.
of the 31 were generals?
Wow.
It almost makes you think, well, they all were, but it's like, no. They were
No.
not.
8 of them.
Okay. It's not a bad guess, I think.
I don't think that's a bad guess. I'm going 5.
Oh, Jake. 12.
Wow.
So the generals
No
were the
way.
top generals, I think like 4 or 5 star were Washington, Grant, and Eisenhower. Major
Yeah.
generals were Jackson, Harrison, Taylor, Hayes, and Garfield, which Garfield surprised me. I don't know why. The cartoon always throws
He
me
got
off for
shot
Garfield.
too.
Yeah. And brigadier generals included Pierce, Johnson, Arthur, and Harrison.
Wow.
All right.
I wasn't even what service? Harris, Taylor, and Hayes. What were they in? What war?
Almost
conflict?
everybody was
Don't
Army.
scratch the surface. Don't scratch
And there was
the
a
surface.
couple that were Navy later on, but most were Army,
Civil War though was the conflict.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that
Okay.
one. I was going to try to go by conflict, but I got to.
Oh, here we
My
go.
last question's about the war. Of those 31, how many were involved in direct contact?
Oh,
Now that's a smaller number, much smaller number, right?
so Washington
Well,
was.
you know the original G-Dub
Grant was.
and Ulysses and Ike.
Yeah, some of those
Eisenhower
guys
was.
went multiple times, right?
Jackson was in 1812. Andrew Jackson.
So what do you think? How many?
That's 4.
Who else?
You going 6? No, I'm going 5.
Because I don't know those
5.
the ones that I talk about Hayes and
Right,
Taylor
I know
and those.
Nobody
old
gives a
ones
shit
is
about
hard.
Hayes or Garfield. Get out of here with that.
I'm with you, Jake. I'd say about 6, maybe. No, I'm going to go back to 8.
16.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
That's like almost all. That was only -2.
I know. So
Wow.
Washington,
Bush?
Monroe, Jackson, Harrison, Taylor, Pierce, Grant,
Okay.
Hayes, Garfield, Harrison, McKinley, Roosevelt, Truman, Kennedy, Ford, Old Man Bush, and Eisenhower. All
Bush was
solved.
a pilot. in
Yeah,
World
he
War
got shot
II.
down. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got shot down.
Oh, Kennedy.
Kennedy was
Wait,
Yeah,
PT
Kennedy was a
109.
You're
vote.
saying
PT
okay?
vote.
I thought we were
PT
slimming it
109.
down more by the generals.
Oh no!
I
sorry.
thought this was
Oh,
just
sorry,
the-
sorry,
of
sorry.
the generals.
No,
That's why I went
put
left.
of those 31. Sorry,
But
about that.
Ford
Okay.
was in the Navy
Bad
too,
question.
right? Was Ford Navy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
Ford was
that makes
Navy.
sense. Okay.
Carter was Navy, I think. So,
Bush was Navy also, right?
Of those 16 in direct combat, how many were injured?
We've been really
Wow.
off on all of this shit.
Well, I don't think
That's why we're not
Washington
keeping
was
score on this.
wounded.
so-
I think
Oh
Grant
hell yeah,
might have been-
G-Dub. G-Dub got
Bushy.
shot in the keister.
Right. 6. 6
I'll be
got
down.
injured. So
Nice.
Monroe, Jackson, Taylor, Hayes. Look at that. Hayes, who fought in 50 engagements during the Civil War.
Wow.
God. Kennedy got. It says his ship got ran over by.
It did,
by
a
Japanese
destroyer.
ship. I thought he
destroyer
got
ran over.
torpedoed. I didn't realize
No.
he got ran over.
Ran over.
And Herbert Walker Bush, who got shot down
Yep.
over by Iwo. It wasn't Iwo Jima. It was one of those other islands. So, all right. Last question. Which war produced the most presidents?
Civil.
World War II.
It was a tie.
Oh.
Both the
look at that.
Civil War and the World War II both produced 8 presidents
No way.
apiece.
That
That's
makes
pretty cool.
sense. That
So the
makes sense.
Civil War produced Fillmore, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Harrison, and McKinley. World War II produced Eisenhower, Kennedy, Lyndon Baines Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, and Herbert Walker Bush.
Was Nixon? Was he in the service?
Yeah, but I think he was a Navy guy. I think.
All right. Okay.
You know, but yeah, he didn't see action. A lot of those guys. Reagan was in too, but he
was
They were like in the
he
guard.
died.
he's in the rear with the gear, baby. So
I'll be
They were
down.
California Reserve.
well, and then Bush Jr. was like Texas National Guard or something like that.
Yeah.
So. So anyway, there's some trivia to astound your friends as you're
Mr. History
online
approves.
to vote tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
And we joke about the reserve back then, but now you're like, oh, those reserve guys, they've done a lot of deployments.
Well, yeah, we do joke about the reserves now.
They go.
But I saw something about like the amount of reservists that were on Normandy Beach. It seemed like half the force were all reservists.
Yeah,
and I was like, holy
yeah.
shit, man. They activated everybody. So
Yeah.
on this election eve, Eric, do you have history or do we just do history?
Well, it's good history, but I have some history.
All
Oh,
right.
I do.
Okay.
So this is kind of cool. You know, November, the biggest thing we always talk about is Veterans Day, right? We could have talked about Veterans Day when it was there. So I've got a piece of history for you that does not
talking
include
about Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday. So I want to talk about between the 13 colonies, running all the way to 1781. What document governed the U.S. population, the 13 colonies?
Up through 1781?
Mm-hmm. It actually went through 1789. So we'll go 1789.
Bill of Rights?
No.
Constitution?
No.
Not yet.
This was prior to the Constitution. So that's why I brought this into
Post-it
play.
note?
That's perfect. You would have thought that's right. So
You gotta do better.
the governing body was the Articles of Confederation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It was adopted by the Continental Congress on
Social
November
studies
15th,
teacher would be pissed.
1777.
I miss that every quiz.
I'm sorry, Mr. Renner. I'm
So
sorry.
this is really cool, though, because I had no idea. I knew there had to be a body. I didn't know it was Articles of Confederation. So
Yeah.
after the Lee Resolution proposed independence of the American colonies, the Second Continental Congress appointed 3 committees on June 11th. One of the committees was tasked with determining what form the Confederation of the colonies should take.
All right.
This committee was composed of 1 representative from each colony. John Dickinson, a delegate from Delaware, was the principal writer. The Dickinson draft of the Articles of Confederation named the Confederation the United States of America. After considerable debate and revision, the Second Continental Congress adopted all of the articles on November 15th, 1777.
Oh,
Pretty
very
cool.
good. Yeah. Very good.
So-
all right. Getting smarter. I feel like I'm getting smarter.
Yeah. So it was interesting. I mean, you can go on and talk about it.
But, you know.
Hey.
Govern the military.
Give him a little
man.
leeway. Give him a little leeway. So
All right. So you want to talk about Veterans Day?
Oh, yeah.
1918, November
no, we're not.
11th
We're
or
not
something?
there yet. We got a couple shows before Veterans Day.
Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead.
Okay,
That was cool.
We'll take that.
Articles, Confederation.
It's a solid.
Did you read them
for you? It's a solid 6 for you.
I did not read them. Too much detail, babe. Surface only. Remember.
Plus, they write in that old style
Surface
way,
only.
and it's like it's hard to read it. And
I'll post
that's
the
right.
article
Surface
for you.
only. I'm glad you went that deep. So that was good.
All right.
All right, gentlemen, we are end-up and preparing for the apocalypse tomorrow. So,
And just so you know, 24-17, 2:29 left. Chiefs up 24-17.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the Chiefs are up now?
24-17 with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left.
We already called that, though, didn't we?
Sorry.
And the Chiefs got the ball.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Everybody loses to the Chiefs. So
I didn't want to lose to the Chiefs. That's my Buccaneers, man. I didn't want to lose to the
well,
Chiefs.
actually, the Broncos didn't lose to the Chiefs. No, not yet.
We'll
lose to the Chiefs next week.
Because they're undefeated when they beat the Bucs tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
8-0.
On behalf of all of us here, I'd like to thank you for listening today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let us know how we did in the comments. And make sure next week that you are not late for changeover.
That was late.
I know.
Half a beat.
I gotta redo it.
You were not.
Ben, well, I remember when I started
Late
that
for
last
changeover.
bit, and then I gotta move the coffee cup and get my finger on the right button.
It seems like a lot, yeah.
You got to put a sticky on it. Push button. Push this button.
Oh, I can see it. I just can't get to it. Ben, thanks for the week. Happy Election Day, and thanks to everyone listening and watching. We'll see you next week.
We'll see how many people
This is a lot
commit
of fun.
suicide over the election. It's going to be higher than the military.
Yeah, we have been down.
Jeez, God.